Hello everyone, welcome back to our engineering chemistry session. Now, in today's session, we are going to continue the application of protective coatings in which we discuss the metallic coatings. At the end of this session, you will able to suggest the method for corrosion control by the understanding of the types of metallic coating that are anodic coating and cathodic coating. Actually, this application of protective coating method is one of the oldest method which is used for the protection of metal. But these protective coatings are classified into three types. First one is metallic coating, second is non-metallic, and third one is a organic coating. So in metallic coatings, there are two types, anodic and cathodic coating. So metals are used for the coating purpose. Then second is non-metallic, so other than metal, the substances are used and that are mostly the inorganic or chemical substances. So it is known as chemical conversion coating or inorganic coating. And it changes the properties of the surface of metal. That's why it is also considered as surface conversion coating. And third one is organic coating. So paint, enamels, varnishes, these are the types of organic coatings. So anodic coating and cathodic coating that we have to discuss. So in any type of coating, there are actually three steps. First one is a removal of grease. That means whatever the grease or oily substances present on the surface of metal that we need to remove. Then removal of oxide scales, rust and corrosion product. Because that metal structure may be exposed to the environment and it is already corroded. So you have to remove that oxidation product or corrosion product from the surface. And third step is etching treatment to improve the appearance of the coating to be applied. Okay. So generally these oils and greases may be removed by cleaning with organic solvents such as xylene, carbon tetrachloride, acetone, etc. Okay. Then oxide scales and rust or corrosion products that can be removed by the abrasion such as by grinding method or sand blasting, wire brushing, etc. And the iron and steel parts are treated with 5% H2SO4 while brass and bronze articles are pickled by immersion in a mixture of HCl and H2SO4. So these are the few steps which we have to follow before application of the coatings. Okay. Now these coatings are of two types, means metallic coatings are of two types, anodic and cathodic coating. So anodic coating means what? In this coating, the coating metal is more anodic to the base metal. Means for example, if I select zinc for coating on iron, so zinc is higher placed or having higher oxidation potential than the iron. So zinc is more anodic than the iron. So more anodic metal is selected for the coating purpose. Because of that, this zinc will protect this iron. Okay. So even though there is a formation of some crack or pores on the coating, then also zinc will act as an anode and our base metal iron will act as a cathode. It will get protected. Means in a case of any discontinuities, okay, it will protect the base metal. So this is known as anodic coating. So let us discuss it with the example, that is zinc coating on iron plate. Suppose here, these are two different diagrams. This steel plate, okay, this steel plate is coated with the zinc coating. So this yellow colored part is of zinc coating. You can see here, it is name is given. Okay. Now, when this coating is uniform, then there is no problem of the formation of galvanic cell or corrosion of base metal. Now consider this much part of this steel plate is exposed to the atmosphere. Means this zinc coating is ruptured. Okay. some part of this coating is removed. So this steel plate part is exposed to the corrosive environment, that is electrolyte. So there is a formation of galvanic cell because two different metals are now in contact with each other. So which one will act as anode and which one will act as a cathode? So anode is the zinc coating. Why? Because zinc is more anodic than the iron itself or steel. Okay, and that's why this zinc acting as anode and get corroded, but this iron plate still get protected. Means what? Even though there is a development of crack or pores or this coating get ruptured, then also this base metal get protected by using this coating. Okay, so that is the benefit of this anodic coating. Even though there is a rupture in the coating, the base metal get protected. So you can see here, as zinc is acting as anode, it will undergoes oxidation. This electrolyte is OH minus ions are present. So this Zn plus 2 will be given out and this OH minus combines to form the zinc hydroxide. Okay, so this is zinc is acting as anode and iron plate or steel plate is acting as a cathode. So this anodic coating is preferred over the cathodic coating. Now the second type is cathodic coating. So what is in this cathodic coating? The coating metal is more cathodic or noble to the base metal. Means what? Because of its noble character, it will protect the base metal. Noble character means it is inert. As we discussed the electrochemical series, the metals at the top of series are more active, whereas the metals at the bottom of series are noble or inactive or that are inert and get protected. So we have to give the coating of noble metals on this base metal. Okay. Now this coating of tin on iron that we consider as an example. So let us see here. Coating metal is tin, which is noble or more cathodic to the iron, and because of its noble character, it is going to protect the iron structure. So see in this diagram, this is your tin coating, okay, tin coating, and this is iron plate or that is steel plate. Okay, so when that coating is uniform, there is no any problem of galvanic cell formation. But if this coating get ruptured or some damage is there, then what happens? So look at this. Suppose this much part is ruptured. Okay, this much part coating is ruptured. So what happened? This red color part which I highlighted, this is exposed now to the corrosive environment because this much part of tin is removed. So formation of galvanic cell. Okay, so which one will act as a anode and which one will act as a cathode? So tin is lower placed in electrochemical series than iron. So which is more corrosive? Now it is iron. And which is protective? Which will act as a cathode? That is tin. So when there is a development of crack, then this base metal is acting as a anode and it will undergoes oxidation and get corroded. Whereas this coating metal is acting as cathode and will get protected. Okay, so in this cathodic coating, on development of cracks or rupture, it will not protect the base metal. So why the anodic coating is preferred over cathodic coating? So this is the reason. In case of anodic coating, even though there is development of crack, then base metal get protected. But in case of cathodic coating, if there is development of crack or pores on the coating, then base metal will get corroded. Now we have to study the various methods to apply this metallic coating. Okay. So these metallic coatings are of two types, anodic and cathodic coating. And now we are going to study the methods to apply the metallic coating. In this very first method is hot dipping. So hot dipping, in this we need to give the coating of the metal on the base metal. So metal is coated on the metal itself. Okay. Now the base metals such as iron or copper, which are having higher melting point, are immersed in the tank of molten metals like zinc, tin, lead, aluminium, etc., which are having low melting point. So what it indicates? Coating metal is having lower melting point than base metal. Suppose your base metal is having lower melting point than coating metal, then what happens? The structure to be coated itself get melt. Okay. So the coating metal is having less melting point than the base metal. Okay. Now the coating of zinc on iron by hot dipping method is called as galvanization, whereas coating of tin on iron is called as tinning, or that is tin plating. So we have discussed this first one example, that is under anodic coating, and second is under cathodic coating. Okay. Now let us see the galvanizing. So galvanizing means it is simply to give the coating of zinc on steel or iron. So how to give this coating? Okay. So method to apply this zinc coating on steel. So you can look at this diagram. Here different containers or baths are kept. The first bath, which contains the dilute H2SO4 at 60 to 90 degrees centigrade. Then second is washing bath. Third one is your drying chamber. Okay. Then next one is the main bath containing molten zinc. So we want to give the coating of zinc. It is covered with the flux, that is ammonium chloride. Then next bath is to collect the excess of zinc, and then it is passed through the annealing chamber. Okay. Now see here the procedure, how it works. Okay. So in this method, the article to be coated is firstly cleaned using this dilute H2SO4 for about 10 to 15 minutes at 60 to 90 degree centigrade. So why to treat this? To remove the scales or impurities. Okay. Then it is passed to the washing bath. So we are going to coat this iron sheet with the zinc. Okay. So first this iron sheet is cleaned with this dilute H2SO4, then passed it through the water and then through the drying chamber. This process is known as pickling. Up to this step it is known as pickling process. Okay. Then this iron sheet is further passed through the bath containing molten zinc at temperature about 425 to 430 degree centigrade. At most 450 degree centigrade. Okay. Now this bath is covered with the ammonium chloride flux. So the surface of bath is covered to prevent the oxidation of molten zinc metal. So it should not undergo the oxidation. Now this iron sheet is removed from this bath containing molten zinc. So what happened? Whatever this molten zinc, it will get coated on the iron sheet, and this iron sheet now coated with the molten zinc is removed and passed through the pair of hot rollers to get the uniform and thick coating. So excess of zinc is removed when it is passed through the pair of rollers. So this excess zinc is collected in this another bath. Now it is further passed through the annealing chamber for the annealing purpose and cooled at certain temperature of 650 degree centigrade. And at the end we will get this iron sheet which is known as galvanized sheet. So this is all about the galvanizing process, that is coating of zinc on the surface of iron or steel, and it is anodic coating. Now the applications of this coating. So this is generally used for the protection of iron articles such as screws, nuts, bolts, wires, pipes, buckets, etc. Means small articles that can easily galvanize. Okay. Then one more point related with this galvanizing, and that is actually the drawback we can consider. These galvanized utensils cannot be used for preparing and storing foodstuff or food material. So especially which are acidic in nature, because this zinc dissolves in acid and forms the toxic compounds. Okay, so it will leads to the poisoning. Food poisoning may occur if we use the galvanized utensils for the cooking or storing of the food material. Okay, so we can't use it for the cooking or storing of the food material. Okay, so that is all about this galvanizing. Now the second method of hot dipping is tinning, that is the process of covering of base metal with the tin metal, that is called as a tinning. So which we will continue in our next session. Bye for now. Thank you.